Not long ago I was born. I was born and I came to a house. A house in a land that was filled with tribes that I knew not, that were foreign to my soul. But I came to feel I was meant to live in that house. I came to feel that the family around me was the family I was supposed to be with. And as I grew, I watched, I observed. I took in all the information I could and analyzed the people around me to see their worth, to see if they understood truth. As I grew, I became more and more entrapped in my surroundings. And all the while, I was observing. I became more and more associated with the body I found myself in, and the land that I found myself in, and with the family I was born into. Now, my village, it was a nice one. It was one better than most villages in the whole world, in many worlds. And I came to love the comfort. It was nice. It was a village of providing, of giving, of making that village a place where someone could grow. But no matter how nice the house is, no matter how great the charity of the world, and no matter how wonderful the family was and the friends that I found myself were, I felt a distant longing, like a half-remembered dream. Something calling me from afar, from some place that was very far from my village, maybe on the other side of the world, directly so. So, with my talismans that I had received in dreams, with my clothes that were of my village, and with an understanding that was more observation than clarity, I ventured from my village. I walked the path away, and along that path I found many different spirits and gods. It seems that between my village at the time and the one that I remembered from far in the past, there were many deities, many spirits, maybe even ghosts, between me and who I once was and where I once was. I learned from these spirits, I learned from these gods, and I performed rituals, rites, and cast spells, all to work out my own thoughts and desires, and to bring me closer to the idea of what I wanted. Not what I wanted, but the idea of what I wanted. What I truly wanted deep down. Along this path, this winding path through valleys, dark valleys, and fog-filled mountains, and tumultuous rains, terrible quakes. It seemed like around every crook and every cranny, there was a new voice, a new being from beyond to speak with me, a new spirit in God. They all had great lessons. They all still have great lessons. And they looked upon me with pity, but also with a desire to be within my gaze, within my worship. I worshipped many of these spirits and gods, and each one of them gave me a small piece of who I was, because I had given true devotion. Putting these pieces together over time as I walked the path, like so many pieces of stone of a cracked and old tablet of my former story, I started to realize more and more who I was, where I had come from, and why I was here, but especially why I was here, because a story, really, it's meant to communicate why it should be told, not what is happening within it. Now, there are a few different things that guided me from my path as I went through these dark valleys. Sweet scents of lotuses in ponds of crystalline purity. Ponds that once you go to, once you gaze into, with all their lush greenery surrounding them, and the chirping birds, and the wind seems to hit the leaves in just such a way that it produces angelic music at these ponds of desire, one can lose himself or herself. One can stay there until their life ends, constantly gazing at themselves in the reflection in the pond, but it's not your real reflection. Narcissus didn't die because he saw himself. He died because he saw a false reflection of himself. Because when you gaze at yourself long enough in something like a pond or a mirror, you start to think that that's you, that is your reality, that this pond, that this place in this jungle, this forest is your reality and there's nothing beyond it, that is reality. Can't stress that enough. But a wise man or woman tears him or herself away and continues along the path and constantly glues together those pieces of the tablet that was long since broken with the blood, sweat, and tears of influences, of experiences along the path. The body, the spiritual body, produces a glue from exertion with which you can glue together the story of all the people you were. So I went up this mountain. This mountain was high. The journey was treacherous. There was winds. There were slick rocks. There were caverns where hands seemed to jolt forth and try to grab me. And I was grabbed many times and pulled back many times, but I kept on going up this mountain. And eventually, once I put my hand on the edge of the cliff and pulled myself up, I saw the light of a goddess who would show me I didn't need the tablet, and that the glue I was using for my blood, sweat, and tears of spiritual exertion were creating a new tablet. And I looked down and I saw the tablet of stones, and all the stones were falling off, but the glue, it started to glow. And once all the rock had fallen off the tablet I was trying to make of my past life, I saw the divine luminous tablet of all my past lives and what they truly meant. Not just who I was, but why I was. And this goddess of light showed me this tablet of light that I was unknowingly making. And a part of me found peace.